Woo! Got him. Do I sound good?
Yeah, man, you sound great. You sound...
How does Kevin sound? Woo! What about
good.
Carson?
Woo! So good.
Oh,
so
here
good.
we go. Yeah, welcome. Hopefully you've had your total feeds this morning and some cereal and some milk. Have you?
Have I? No, not this morning. I actually, I've been doing a little bit of intermittent fasting, Dale.
So you just threw that jacket on, popped your collar, and walked out the door, baby.
Dude, that's, yep, 7:55.
Okay.
Is that fancy for skipping breakfast?
What's that? Yes. Yeah. When you skip breakfast, you're fasting, right? If you
can't afford breakfast, you're poor.
Yeah.
I choose to skip breakfast.
No, that's the thing I'm trying to do.
Oh, man, just looked at the budget like, you know what? I think I'm going to get into this intermittent fasting thing they're doing. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
There will be time. You guys ever done that? Like you've got a pile of bacon, and bacon kind of goes bad in the fridge pretty quickly. So it's just all, but you don't want to waste the bacon. So then for maybe 5 days straight, or maybe even 3, depending on how savvy you are, like just hammer down bacon in the mornings. No,
why would?
I'll let bacon sit in the fridge
like,
for a long time.
You mean like you cooked it?
Well, no, like raw bacon, bacon you buy from the store, it goes bad in the fridge pretty quickly, I feel like.
As do, I think, probably most fresh foods.
Maybe it just annoys me with bacon then. So then it's like, I get there, I remember, dang, I got all this bacon here. It's about to go bad. I better start eating this. So then you just eat a lot of bacon. Like,
I don't know. I feel like you're kind of zeroing in on the bacon unnecessarily when it comes to like cleaning out the fridge before stuff goes bad. It seems like anything with an expiration date.
Maybe, but bacon's the only one that I feel like I don't want to waste this.
See, I get that way more with chicken.
Okay.
Chicken, like really, I get real nervous about chicken. I don't even like touching it. I don't want it to be old. I don't want it to be. Yeah, I like touching chicken when it's cooked, but.
Right.
I'll fill my tummy with some chicken just out of fear that it's about to go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some bad chicken. Do you remember that when we got your bareback rigging from Chipotle?
Yep, and you were sick like all of the next day.
Whoa.
Right?
Chipotle sells bareback rigging?
They sold one.
Are you kidding me? Because I was kind of off of Chipotle because they get their beef from Australia. And I'm an American that sells beef, and I'd like the beef to come from here.
Right.
Nothing against Australia. But if they're selling rodeo gear...
I got a bareback rigging, and I ordered the chicken.
Oh,
So-
okay. Hey, the thing about... They do use thighs.
Come on.
I do think that Chipotle uses thighs,
Pretty good chicken.
which makes it really good. Also, I heard the other day that the Chipotle CEO, I saw a headline... And maybe it was just made up by someone. I'm not sure why, but like that he donated a lot of money to ICE.
I didn't hear that one. Their chicken
Could have been AI.
Yeah, they could have just been investing in like actual ice to keep their chicken from going bad. Because
maybe the confusion there was like not the acronym ICE, but the actual ICE,
Right.
to keep things cold.
which the chicken that I got when we
I thought
shortly
you
after
got the steak.
did I get the steak?
I think so.
Whichever it was, I remember that was
The steak got you. The Australian steak got you.
the Australian
dude.
steak really got me. I did get the steak, didn't I? This is a real argument for buying American beef.
And
Yeah,
I got
so.
chicken. I was fine. You got the steak.
Australian chicken or American chicken?
I don't know.
it's a good question.
Could be a secret
Bolivian
third
chicken.
option,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, today we're talking about, first, before we talk about jobs we've been fired from, tell me about this demon.
I told you about the demon.
You touched on it yesterday lightly while we were working calves, but in the last podcast, it was revealed to us that, because it sounds like Cole's having just like some nightmares, but he wants to call them night terrors. He's calling them night terrors. But in that conversation, like, just wake up from his sleep, like one of those jerks where you wake, oh, it's a night terror. I'm having night terrors.
Obviously, that was a demon.
But anyway, he said that you actually saw a demon.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could call it just a nightmare, but it happened like 5 times in a row or more. Like it just kept happening, the same exact thing. I would wake up at the flea market and the door would be cracked and there would be this face like about doorknob height with like straggly hair just staring at me through
Like a child or a small adult?
like a crouched adult.
Oh.
Yeah.
But a small adult?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like just
Like a little creepy adult.
is it almost like Schmeagol? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Staring at me like doorknob height. And the first time I woke up, like I had slept walked to the door, like to check the door because I thought the door was open, like in my dream, and I was going to shut the door.
So you're sure it was a dream?
Yeah, but it kept happening, so I didn't know
Okay.
if I was like seeing this same little demon every night. But because I woke up and the door was already shut, like the door wasn't actually cracked open, you know. But I like woke up when I was like grabbing the door.
That's what makes you think it was a dream.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But then it kept happening so much so that to the point I would wake up, like see it, and be like, he's not gonna bother me, and I would go back to sleep.
Oh, brother.
I was like, it hasn't gotten me yet. I know the door's actually shut, so I'm just gonna go back to sleep.
And you were able to.
Yeah.
Are you like a scary movie watcher?
No, I think they get me too ramped up. I will, but like, I
Did
don't
it make
like
you like want to like pray? Like what was your remedy for it? Pretend that it wasn't real?
Yeah, just
Just kind of learn to
ignore
live.
it.
He was
I
all,
just learned to live with it.
he was a proven coward.
He hadn't got me
Kevin
yet.
is or the demon?
The demon.
Okay. So
It
this
did
was,
really freak me out the first few times. Like, it really freaked me out. But
and it was during the flea market days, like the OG flea market days, back
Yeah,
when it was
all
you,
three.
Carson, and Willie.
yep,
Did you tell any of them about it?
yeah,
Do you think it was
me?
maybe Willie like?
yeah. I thought it was one of them messing with me at
Really?
first.
Because
yeah.
I could see like, Willie crouched down.
Oh yeah,
I could maybe see
depending on what haircut he had at the time.
exactly.
That would look
Ooh,
like Gollum.
I don't know. If we're talking about haircuts, Carson's
Could've
when
been
he
like-
first got here.
Yeah,
Very, very
I ask-
Schmeagol-esque.
Oh no, maybe a little.
5 times.
at least, if not more.
Yeah. That was Troy Aikman had a reoccurring dream we talked about on the podcast where he would be in the locker room. It's not demon related.
And
But the fact that it was the only similarity actually is that it's reoccurring, but he would have like the reoccurring dream where he couldn't get his cleats on to just go out and play.
Dang.
And then later when he was commentating, he would have a similar dream where he wasn't prepared to talk about either of the teams. Anyhow.
I woke up and I was on a podcast with some rodeo guy.
Yeah. This is where my life is taking me. Man, that's wild. But the dreams did not continue when you moved to the house on whatever. What do we
No.
call that house?
Houston,
And then you moved out to your new place. No recurring
nothing
dreams.
there. They stopped while I was in the flea market. Like I lived in the flea market for a while. After
Is it
just
when you
stopped.
started to get right with the Lord?
Maybe?
Maybe.
Didn't you have some other stuff happen though? Like what? Like in that time period, you had some other like weird dreams or something.
Probably.
I feel like some other stuff was going on too.
Probably.
Somebody kept running by and knocking on y'all's windows
That would happen.
pretty regularly.
That would happen. Somebody
Yeah.
put a bunch of hot dogs in our yard. Our yard.
We got to the bottom of that one.
Yeah, our yard got hot dogged.
Yeah, that was,
For lack of a better term.
we just woke up.
I don't know what
There
the
was like
kids are calling
60 hot dogs on sticks in our front yard.
Who did it?
Jordan.
it. Jordan.
Yeah, but
That
she
sounds
didn't
like
do
a
the other
Jordan
stuff.
prank.
She got us.
She made a whole video of it. It was really well done.
We got hot dogged.
Yeah, one time somebody like ran through our house and just like threw all of our laundry all over the place.
That did happen. Yeah. I would
Why
call
are you looking at me?
I would call it a
Why are you getting
ransacking.
defensive?
I did not do that because you said it and then went,
I was just seeing if you thought it was funny.
it is funny. That doesn't mean I did it. I did not do this.
I did not do this.
One of my favorite things to do at the flea market when they were there was just if I was driving by, if I was just driving by, I would pull in the yard really quick, just kick the door open, run in there, just grab a beer from the fridge and leave. But then one time I did that and they weren't home. And it was just really sad.
Yeah, but that's because you drank a lot of beer. It's not because you like the prank. It's just like, I'm going to do this in the name of comedy, but really, I just want another beer.
Want a free beer.
Then one time I did it and nobody was there. And I was like, oh.
That's when you know it's
Didn't
a
you just,
problem.
like,
Yeah,
sit down on the
that's
couch?
when you
Then
know
I
you're
just sat
drinking.
down and like opened this beer.
Yeah, you still drank it. Exactly.
Like,
Well, yeah.
It's a win-win.
that's when I realized I needed to slow down.
What was it about the flea market days that made you think like, all right, it's time to leave here and get a place of my own?
What do you mean?
Well, it just seemed like it was a conscious decision. Like you guys had a good thing. Oh, I guess Willie left first.
Yeah, Willie left us.
Willie left,
And then Ty came on.
It wasn't the
and
same.
then Ty came on.
Just wasn't the same.
No offense to Ty or offense to Ty?
No offense to Ty.
I think you.
And then I planned on getting engaged and moving Shelby in with me. I feel like
She didn't want to go to the flea market?
sharing a room at the flea market, sharing a bathroom with Carson and Ty, 4 people deep.
Yeah.
I was looking
Houston-
forward to it.
We're going to be one big happy
Yeah,
family,
it's gonna be
man.
awesome.
The Houston house popped up, and I was like, I'd like to. Can I live there?
Hitting
For
the
that
horse.
short time, though, when it was Willie, Kevin, and Carson,
Yeah,
that was 3 rednecks, match made in heaven.
probably what, at least a year
Yeah, I mean,
and a half.
pretty much the whole time I was
think
here
2
before
years.
Willie left.
What was that like in that household with you 3?
It wasn't bad. Like we never fought over like the one bathroom.
No, we kind of had an order.
I
We would
forgot
shower.
Willie had a toilet in his closet,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
No
Yeah.
ventilation to that toilet.
No.
I think that's more a bathroom
With
where
the
you
clothes
can
rack.
hang your clothes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what that was.
I never went number 2 in there because I lived in that room after Willie moved
Yeah,
out.
I just stayed in that front corner room the whole time.
Remember, there were a lot of puzzles at the flea market.
I went through a puzzle phase,
Yep.
He did go through a puzzle phase.
We did a lot of puzzles at the flea market.
some video gaming.
Yep. The pool table was in there for
The
a long
pool
time.
Oh,
table.
we did have a pool table.
Showed up, it sucked. It was just rainbow.
Yeah.
And like you would hit
You
a
could
ball
always make it in
and-
the back pocket.
Yeah, and it would
Yeah.
just fall to the wall.
And there wasn't really enough room in there
No.
to,
Yeah.
to get a
You guys
decent
were
shot.
pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Really sure was.
Willie bought it and then bought it for like $50 and then ended up selling it for like $200.
Yeah,
Not bad.
not bad.
Remember his van?
Yeah, he had that square body.
That was
80s
not
Chevy
such
van.
a good deal.
No,
Like an
That
82.
one wasn't
I don't
as.
think he made money on that one.
That was one of the worst road trips I've ever been on. It was fun because we were all in the van, but when we went
What
to
was
that
the
rodeo,
drama when he sold it?
just some weirdos showed up. Right?
Oh, man. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
these hippies from Austin
Yeah.
showed
Yeah.
up and they were like, we'll take it.
But didn't they break down like before they got out of town?
Well, they
I don't-
called us an hour later and they were like, how do we get back to Austin, like out of this town? We're at Jerry's at this.
Yeah, Willie had to go meet him at Jerry's.
Yeah.
I think they had flooded the carburetor trying to start it from Jerry's. And they're like, we're broke down.
Which is walking distance from y'all's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are wild times. Y'all were all riding bulls.
Yep.
There,
We
there
were.
was like a sweet spot where all 3 of you were riding bulls, going to those old man rodeos.
Yep.
Yes, the
And going to-
WPBROs.
Some random practice pins. Carson
Yeah.
got a horn up the butt at one.
That was also it was also a gender reveal. I'd like to
Hopefully not yours. Hopefully they didn't reveal your gender whenever that
it
happened.
was almost a gender reassignment for me.
Was that the first time you guys had ever had roommates? Or you had roommates? I mean,
In college.
I'd
Yeah.
only ever had roommates.
yeah.
I never lived by myself.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's going to take us to what I want to hear about, and that's jobs we've all been fired from. Not that we were all on the same job and got fired, but Cole, start us off. Have you ever been fired from a job?
Just one.
Yeah.
And it was a good ranching job. The ranch manager and I have since reconciled, and it's all good. And it ended up being we were just very, very different people. We worked a lot, and I was going on I don't even know if I should. I was going on Rancheros. I was the musical attraction on the Rancheros ride, and I really wanted to go, and I kind of once in a lifetime opportunity, or at least the younger me thought it was, and I needed to go. And he was like, "Well, we just can't have that." And yeah, it was really sad. It was really sad. I was unemployed for all of about 10 minutes, though. I made another phone call, and it ended up being really good for everybody. I'm glad it worked out. It's not a very good story, but yeah, that was the only time I've ever been fired.
What's rancheros?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Kevin,
What is rancheros?
It's a trail ride, isn't it? In
California.
North California.
Yes, sir.
How far from where in California?
I don't really remember. The year I went was during COVID, so it wasn't the actual Rancheros ride. It was kind of like a pre-ride ride, because COVID had shut everything down. So I just went on one kind of little one.
Oh dang! So you didn't get to meet like big celebrities?
No, sir.
You still got fired.
I still got fired. Yeah, still worth it. Yeah, it was
Was it anything close to the big opportunity you thought it might be, or do you think that was more overshadowed by COVID?
I think it was a good opportunity. I met a lot of really good people there, like
Yeah.
Guys that we still see around with the NFR. Like I definitely, and it ended up actually, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have come to rodeo time, because that ranching job was the one that when I had first sent in a video, I didn't, and then whoever had responded to me from rodeo time, I was like, you know what, it sounds fun, but actually I kind of really like it here. Like I had no real reason to leave, and but then, yeah, if I hadn't have gotten fired from that job, I wouldn't have started working for Riverbend. And if I was at Riverbend, I wouldn't have had the support. I wouldn't have had the support to come to Texas.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if anything, it really was worth it. The Rancheros, definitely, I made a lot of good friends there. But yeah, it worked out.
Kevin, you've got a good "I got fired" story, don't you?
Chick-fil-A. I believe I've told it on here. I was just 16. Looking back, since I've told that before, I've thought about it more, and I was like, I did not care for that job. Like I remember one day we had I don't know if it was like a sale, or if you came in you got a free sandwich day or whatever. We were stupid busy, and everybody's registers got a line to it, and my buddy was going to work out at the gym next to the Chick-fil-A, and everybody's just got a line out the door in my register line. I just step off to the side and talk to him for 15 minutes, and the owner of the Chick-fil-A was there that day. He's like, "Kevin, get to your register." And I'm like, "What?" I hate this job.
Were they crazy busy too?
Oh yeah, so busy. Lines out the door busy. I was just talking with my buddy.
You had a problem with saying "my pleasure."
Yeah, I refused to say it. I didn't like the uniform. I didn't like saying "my pleasure." I didn't like the job.
Isn't it just a red polo?
Yeah.
Hey, polos, man.
I think it's more the fact that he had to wear the same thing everybody else was wearing.
Yeah,
Probably not the color red or the polo part.
Yeah, it's just having.
Didn't you have to do that at Ford?
Yeah, but you're wearing Dickies and a mechanic shirt.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it either.
Now that you mention it, I didn't like that one either.
Yeah. And then, but I was also dating a coworker, and
Oh yeah. That never ends well. That's what I've heard.
and I was not that nice to the customers. But when they called me to fire me, they're like, "Kevin, can you come up here?" And I was like, I guess they need me to pick up a shift or whatever. So I put on my little Chick-fil-A uniform that I don't like. I drive 20 minutes to Delaware, and they're like, "You've been terminated." I was like, "You could have told me that on the phone."
So some people, so it is okay to have those conversations on the phone.
Don't make me waste the gas.
Because some people think that you can't. It's just rude, and you have to do that in person.
Give me a call.
Just give me a call.
Tell me not to show up.
You're on everybody.
Would you have preferred it even more had they just texted you?
Even better.
What if they
Even
just
better.
stopped talking to
I
you?
just sit back at 10-4.
Yeah. What if or a GIF? You'd have had to done a GIF.
8 ball.
Yeah.
A bubble.
8 ball pool.
Yeah. Yeah, or just the old. I get the show confused. What's the movie? Office Space. The Office Space just stop paying you kind of thing. That would have been worse.
We just like let these things work themselves out.
Yes,
I would have noticed pretty quick.
You haven't seen Office
I've
Space
seen it.
yet. You have. Okay,
Oh,
Donnie
yeah.
hasn't. Have
Really?
you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think Donnie's
Office-
seen it.
I don't think he has.
Oh, what a loser.
We talk about it all the time. What about you? You been fired from a job?
Not technically, but since I've been here, I started in the warehouse. I don't do that anymore. Then I helped with the website. That didn't work out. Then I started helping with the books. That didn't work out either. Graphic design, no.
Also not my thing.
You were
Now we're
outside
on
with
me-
me and Willie for a while.
Yeah, not there anymore.
Doing what?
Just outside with me and Willie.
Oh yeah,
And now I'm on media, and it's been about a year, so we'll see.
got a pretty good streak going.
So far, so good.
We're hoping that
running
works
out
out because we're running out of jobs under the Rodeo Time umbrella. We've got ranching, we've got media, we've got apparel, and there's only so many different jobs.
I didn't realize how many there were here until you listed the ones you
Yep.
had. Yeah,
There's only so many. There's only so many cedar stays we can put in.
I've gotten asked to stop doing all of them.
Dude, there was a time that it seemed like just whenever you had a spare moment, we were putting in cedar stays somewhere.
Yeah.
It was like that was an all hands on deck.
a lot of fence.
Yeah, we even had one guy just show up on a Sunday and he put in cedar stays with us.
Oh yeah, that guy just drove up to my house. And I did rifle through all of his crap. I was like, y'all watch this guy. I was like, bro, you pull up here, like I am cocked and loaded, ready to go.
Yeah,
like
don't
you
show
gotta be
off.
yeah, do not do that. Yeah, I went through his text messages. He left his phone. I was like, bro, you can't show up to my house and not get like I'm gonna do my own search and destroy mission through your pickup.
It was strange that he said, "Yeah, I was just driving by." And I was like, "This isn't the kind of place you just drive by."
He also had his truck packed and was wearing a Riding Bulls Punching Fools t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was cool of him. But there were some
Actually,
signs that were like, I'm gonna go through this guy's pickup when he's not looking if you just drive up to my house. And I don't feel bad about it.
He went to that practice pen with like Carlos and Jordan, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out he was a good guy. But if you only give me 30 seconds to make that assessment, like
You
and
went
then-
through his phone too, did you?
Yeah. I read his text messages with his mom. Turns out he was just like looking for a new start. Great guy. We didn't need anybody at the time, so we sent him on his way. But I gave him a couple days work. He went to some practice pins. I don't think we let him get on bulls here.
No.
Like that takes a minute. I need to trust you, you know. But I'm a normal guy. I'm a normal guy. I got a normal house, and there's just I don't know. Like I just wanted to check and make sure, like that he's not, you know,
Trying to shoot you in your normal house.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
if there was,
He even had a gun, and I was okay with that. But just let me go through. Let me make sure there's not also prescription pills
or
you
a
know?
bunch of guns.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
right.
Yeah.
Or a list with names.
Or a list with names. And my name is on the list. Yeah.
Just like 27th down. How did I get here? Old Brisby. Wow.
Yeah. I don't need sympathy when I say this, but I have multiple law enforcement agencies' phone numbers in my phone because of stuff like this. And when I say that, I just mean sheriff, police, and FBI. Anyway, so I'm going to do a little bit of checking. Before I call my FBI guy, let me just double check right here in front of you, in front of mine.
We definitely need to use this more.
What's that?
I don't know if you got a contact with the FBI. Yeah, there's way more videos we could be making right now. Welcome to Rodeo Time, guys. We're about to bust into this drug house.
I got fired to circle back from, well, these are the jobs I've had. I was trying to think of it before, and I think I'm missing a few, but obviously, you know, when you grow up ranching, you have to work for your old man. So that was probably the OG job. trained horses for Scott Lindley. I spent some summers with Craig Cameron. Then I worked at a feed store. And then I worked at Ace Hardware. I worked at a gas station for just a little bit with my buddies. I don't know that I got fired or I quit that one. Started training horses for myself. Then I started fighting bulls. Then I worked for a team roper riding his horses. His name was Kermit Moss. Then I put on rodeos for Kermit. In college, I mowed the right-of-ways in Bryan. The number of college students around there that could drive a tractor was a little bit slimmer, so that job was wide open. Then I moved to the large animal vet clinic, trained horses there. I was a TA at A&M. Then I sold vitamins. Then I went back to working for my dad at a ranch while I was rodeoing. When my dad died, they hired me to run that ranch while I was rodeoing. Then the last job that I had, the last full-time job I had before rodeo time was Dr. Neerlands for Chet Creel. So which one of those jobs do you guys think I got fired from?
Gas station?
Probably your brother-in-law.
I didn't get fired from working for Chet, but it's crazy how quickly he replaced me. Freaky fast. Ace Hardware, which
Ace.
I wasn't, they kind of like almost like, I don't want to say shut down for the summer, but I feel like they were shut down for the summer for some reason. I was helping them with inventory, and I was the only one in there. And so I'm literally counting nuts and bolts, and they didn't have all the lights on. So I'm just in the back of this Ace Hardware in a dimly lit room, counting like every size, every bolt and nut in the back of this thing. It was the worst job. And I got fired from there. They told me it was because they were done doing inventory. I know I wasn't done. So maybe it's because maybe I couldn't count. But then again, it's dimly lit. All right, let's turn the lights on at least in here. So that to my knowledge is the only job that I got fired from. But also, I think the TA job I almost lost a few times. I've told that story in here. Like it was pretty casual and casual wear. But then somebody made fun of me because I was wearing my microfiber T-shirt, which I feel like is nice, a nicer shirt, something you wear under a blazer. And so I went to Goodwill, got a bunch of suits, started wearing those. Well, then the other 9 people in the office started wearing them. Well, then we all had to wear them for the next year and a half. And so I kind of tricked myself into like having to like wear a suit, which made me so ready to get out of there. Oh my gosh. I enjoyed the work. I did not enjoy the attire, the uniform.
Yep.
Was it a full suit? I mean, you had slacks on and everything?
Yeah, it wasn't like it was essentially, slacks, a tie, a coat.
Dang.
But this is not a lot. Like I definitely started this trend in there and then that like raised the bar and I was like, yeah. Because they were all making fun of me because of my T-shirt. It had a hole in the back. The shirt did. That's why they were making fun of me. I was like, I'll show you. I got them good.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
Could we, you guys went through a suit phase. Back to flea market days, you went through a suit phase.
Yeah, is
I
that
feel
where all
like the
those
whole
came from?
industry is going through like a coat phase right now. Like everybody's wearing blazers.
Yeah.
Not necessarily our immediate circles of people,
Right.
But I think the Western industry, like wearing a suit jacket is like in right now.
Really? Does that mean, is Dale Brisby going to start?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to do it. But yeah. Y'all haven't noticed that? Like everybody's selling them.
I have, yeah.
Like even like Rock and Roll Denim started selling them.
Yeah.
There's like a few people that started selling them.
Yeah.
I think some of those bag companies, the ones that would like redo like a Louis Vuitton purse and make like fancy purses. A lot of those companies are now like selling like suit jackets.
Really?
It's like the guy's version of a Louis Vuitton purse.
Yeah.
Which makes it sound feminine. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I think that's a way to like fancify the cowboy wear.
Yeah.
For sure.
It definitely, you get to business casual really quickly with just a blazer on.
I'll wear one. I've got like a black one I got at the MGM that's got a little bit of stretch to it that like if I were going to the back number ceremony, for instance, I might throw that on. So like I'm not saying guys that wear those. I don't enjoy it. I'm not going to buy one for fashion's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other scenarios we, even just us four in this room, like what scenarios we find ourselves in where a suit jacket might be like acceptable. And I can't think of very many.
No.
Yeah.
Because most of the meetings we go to are definitely primed to rodeo time. Like you got to be wearing rodeo time.
Man,
right?
one thing I wear a lot that I think throws people off, like I was in Teskey's the other day and I was reminded of it, but I love a hoodie. And I had my hood on and like if you were to see me at a restaurant, like this is maybe how you might see me. And the girl in Teskey's like trying to hide. And I was like, no, absolutely not. And immediately I was like, I just took a shower not that long ago. My hair looks really ratty, super redneck. Like I look like not redneck, white trash. Big difference. And the hood just kind of holds it all there. And it also kind of gets it a little drier. And it really just keeps my mat of a hairdo, but everybody thinks I'm hiding, and I'm not at all. And so I need to stop doing that. It's not very welcoming. What's the word?
I mean, it does seem a bit
Inviting.
Yeah.
It does seem like you've got even more to hide. If you've got your hood up with
I
sunglasses
understand
on,
that if I've got my hood on, sunglasses, cap pulled down, that it looks like that guy does not want to be talked to.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, sometimes I think sunglasses inside, people assume that. But anyways, this is not that interesting. On to the next one. I'm going to start taking my hood off and just look white trash.
I think people really underestimate how terrible it is to ranch with as much hair as you have.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when we left the Sixes once, and it was really windy and dusty there, and I just remember Dale walking back to the pickup, and his hair was just sticking out to the side. And it didn't look like hair. It looked like it looked like an old sponge or something was attached to him. And I was like, oh, that must be terrible to walk around with.
You know what's worse than that? A wig. So anytime I'm having a bad day with long hair, I just remember what it was like to wear the wig. Yeah. So, what's our first segment, Cole?
Oh, well, yesterday we were bucking horses and everything, and Dale was putting the flank on Bob Ross. You've probably recognized him if you've seen our videos. The big paint horse. He's got a pretty solid trip. Everybody loves to get on Bob Ross. He's just very consistent. He's easy to pick up. He is our friend. He doesn't let you pet him, but he does think about it. And while Dale was putting on the flank, he tightened it all the way, and Bob Ross didn't move a muscle. He was as calm, as cool and collected as he can be. And
tightening it all the way essentially is what it's going to be like during the ride.
Yes.
Because we usually tighten it on their way out of the buck and shoot.
Right.
To which everybody's like talks about all this pain there, whatever, we're causing these animals. And so I tightened that flank all the way in the buck and shoot, and he just kind of like flicked his ears back and forth. And if a horse is in pain, they are a fight or flight animal. They will not just stand there if they're in pain. They're not going to be frozen with pain. They're going to either fight you, but their main response is flight. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of this buck and shoot. I'm going to run away, and I'm never coming back.
Right. And Bob Ross exhibited zero flight in this scenario.
Correct.
And I thought that was...
He's also a gelding, so he has no balls to tie the flank to.
Right. But it was admirable. We even compared him to Boone like there for a second. So for this segment of Texas Precious Pets, I would like us to go around the circle.
Brought to you by Texas Precious Metals.
See what
our
we
friends
did
at TPM.
Cole,
Go to
you've done it
texmetals.com. Go to texmetals.com for your gold and silver needs. That's where I go. I love gold, and it has. I like gold.
I love gold. I would like for everybody to go around and what's a quality or maybe even a trick or what's something that a pet did that you admired. Now, pet, livestock, but either or.
You know, Catfish was always there to let you know if somebody was on the property.
Every now and then, when he was old, he'd be asleep. You could sneak by him pretty easily.
When I first started coming around, as soon as you got there, you're bark, bark, bark.
Yeah, he was good at that. Yeah, and then I walked out one morning, and I yelled at, and Kevin was walking up, and I said, "Why do you look like you're about to tell me my dog died?" And Kevin said, "Because your dog died." Oh, that was how that conversation went.
Yep.
And so then we buried him, and it was the toughest ground. Like no rain. Oh my gosh, it was hard to dig that hole. God, why'd you have to die right now?
I just walked up to feed Catfish that morning, and Dale walks off his back porch and is like, "Good morning." I'm like,
It might not be.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's that good of a morning. I love that dog. Not as much at, man, my sister had a dog named Daisy, and it was a Westie. And you know how cats act? Like they don't need anything, but they'll just kind of be around you sometimes. And that was this dog. Like she was so chill. Like she didn't have to be in your face. She didn't have to be pet all the time. Like, please feed me. Her only thing was like if she heard a gunshot, she'd go to the next county. But like anything other than that, so like we couldn't like shoot skeet. Like we'd have to put her in the house. Like if we were gonna do, you know, not that we did that every day, but whatever, you know. But yeah, Daisy was the best dog. If I could find a dog like her, I would have a dog right now. Second best dog was Lucas. He was a pretty good one.
Yeah. That was the one he was in some videos and everything.
Yeah, that was that was a amazing duck dog. My mom rescued him because the guy couldn't take care of him. She was just walking in the park with my dad one day. They were in Amarillo, and this guy walked up, and they got to talking, and he had this yellow lab, and it needed phenobarbital every day, otherwise it would have a seizure. And she just agreed to take this bad to the bone dog, and we think that he maybe took him from someone who was abusing him, or maybe he told them that, whatever. So stolen dog, and gave him to my mom. We took him. We were shooting skeet. He didn't leave. He just was hanging out by me. I was like, this dog's been trained. Took him out. First time I'd ever even been duck hunting. We shot 9 ducks, and he brought every one of them back. I didn't know you sent him by saying his name. Mm-hmm. So I kept yelling for him to come back on this last duck. And he was out in the woods. Well, he's just going and hunting. Like 14 minutes later, he comes back out of the woods with a duck in his mouth. Like he had just gone. And anyways, so that was cool. He got me into duck hunting. He taught me about duck hunting. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was the other dog I had. Anyhow. Yeah. Cool animal you've had. Texas Precious Pet.
One I've had, I was going to talk about Ranch Kitty.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
That is a special cat.
I feel like, I don't like cats at all, but Ranch Kitty's just the goat. Like, you'll be out there, she'll just run up to you. Like,
dude.
One thing she does that's kind of funny is she wants you to pet her, but when you go reach for her, she'll be like, that. You know what I mean? But then she wants it.
And if you hang around too long, she'll swat at you.
She will.
Like, all right, that's enough. I've had enough.
That is an interesting cat. 2014. It might have been 13. No, it was 14, early 14. I was going into the feed store at Franklin, Texas, and she was on the bench outside and had just been born. Somebody put her on the bench, and she had her eyes were still shut. Anyways, I brought her home. Had her since then, 2014. So I guess she's 12-ish, 13 maybe, somewhere in there. Nice. But
yeah, that's the most dog-like cat I've ever been around.
And she makes a living too. Like, I think, I mean, she's old now, but she'd be fine on her own.
Yeah. I am not a animals inside, but if it's like super cold, I'll let her in that back mud room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll let her stay back there because I'm not a cat person, but I am a ranch kitty person.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that she survived so long just because there's so many stray cats in this town.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's holding down the block.
She's holding down the block. Keep them away. Which we live like on the edge of town, so it's good. It's far enough out that she doesn't get a lot of interaction, but she holds her own.
Yep. I had a dog. My first dog, Bullet. He was a cool kind of border collie. I named him after Roy Rogers' dog, Bullet. One thing that I really always admire, I mean, he could pull a wagon with me in it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like I just, and this wagon would tip over and this dog would still be pulling this thing. Oh, it was so cool. But Bullet was just,
Dang, that's fun.
oh, it was so much fun. Like I felt like I was just in a wagon or something all the time growing up with this dog. He had a harness. But anyway, one thing that was really cool about Bullet that I was just amazed with as a little kid was that he could hop fences like nobody's business. Just no matter how tall of a fence he could, and I was pretty little too, so these fences probably aren't as tall as I was thinking they were. But it was just amazing to watch this dog. I would purposefully throw balls over the fence so that Bullet could go get him and jump back. And I remember just thinking this was the coolest thing ever. And lo and behold, the thing I admired about him most, his ability to jump fences, probably led to he ran away one day. The way Bullet could jump fences.
I threw that last ball and he never came back.
Never came back.
Must have been a good throw.
Oh man, I guess so.
He's still out there looking for it.
Shoot, I thought it was good. Yeah,
That's a good name. It'd be a good name for a fast horse.
Roy's Wonder Dog Bullet. If you ever watch the Roy Rogers show, it goes through, and I've always wanted to do it with Dale Brisby. Like he just goes through all the characters of the show, and it's like. And his horse Trigger, and the last one was, and Dale's Wonder Dog Bullet, and he's just running. It's just this German Shepherd running along, like hauling balls through the prairie. It was pretty cool. Yeah, we don't need to get sad.
I'll take
here,
your
though.
word for it.
Yeah, whoever got him. All right, so next segment. Right, is that what you're ready for?
Yeah,
we can cut this part out. All right. One of our newest sponsors, Shady Rays, and their no worry guarantee. If you lose or break your sunglasses, Shady Rays will replace them. Pretty handy thing to have. They've got your back. I want to know when's a time somebody had your guys' back in the rodeo arena.
Man, I think of, you told me that segment earlier, and immediately I thought of national champion rodeo. I've talked about this before. It's been a year or two ago, but I was fighting bulls. We were practicing at the Sam Houston State practice pen in Huntsville, and their coach is Bubba Miller, and he is also the Cowboy Church that's maybe 10 miles from there, where he also has a practice pen. So you go to Bubba Miller's Cowboy Church on Sundays, and then the Sam practice pen would be on Tuesdays. And since I was an NRA member at A&M, I could go there and practice. I could go to both pens. I would go there to get on broncs, but they knew I could fight bulls, so I would help fight bulls between sections of broncs. And anyway, I was fighting this bull, and I did get lined out. And one thing about National is he's just a very savvy and aware pickup man, really good with the rope. And I was getting lined out, and National came in horseback and picked this bull off of me by just positioning his horse in a way where it made that bull raise his head up and slow down so that I could peel off and go the other way. And nobody noticed him. You know, everybody's like, good job, fighting bulls. And but I knew, and anyways, like it was a subtle thing that out of my peripheral, I saw him come in, and he did save my butt. But it was just a nod to his horsemanship. But yeah, that's what I thought of immediately when you asked me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of any time. I mean, it was always fun to get on bulls whenever Webb and Tuck are in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Zero fear.
Yeah.
I would get on absolutely, and still today, I will get on any bull in the world with those two guys in the arena. Like something about having Webb, like knowing like there's that level of talent and bull savvy.
Yeah.
It's just another level of good bullfighters give you a peace of mind, but it's not that, I mean, they can't control like you getting jerked down, for instance, but I guess the level, having fought bulls, the level of control they do have, they're going to max it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the level of control you have as a rider, if you can max that out, whatever's left in the middle, whatever risk and danger is left in the middle, like that's just that's up to the good Lord. I guess that's kind of the peace of mind I could take whenever like taking my rap. I don't know.
Do you think because we watch a lot of bull riding here. We go to a lot of bull ridings here, and we've seen some good bullfighters and we've seen some okay bullfighters. Webb as an example, you as an example, the reflex to save somebody, to put yourself in danger, like it's immediate. I rarely see you pause. Anyways, you don't check up. It's not you know what I mean. There's not really a stutter step before. Maybe if you do it, but maybe just getting the timing right. But is that a reflex? Do you think you're born with it, or is that a practiced thing? Like to save somebody while you're bullfighting.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think it's mainly like I can think of some times I've been late lately. It wasn't necessarily out of fear that I might get hurt or like I didn't want to help the person. I think that does happen. For me, I've just been out of the game with like bullfighting. Like I only do that usually with my own bulls, and none of them are like yesterday. Cleveland got on bats, and I saw him getting bucked off away from his hand, and so his into his hand, and so his American style bull rope. Like I know he's not going to get hung up. Like he's clearly being thrown away from bats. Bats is not mean. He's going to avoid you. And so I just stood there. Like in my mind, I'm watching and I'm counting. My clock is going on in my head. And I just stood there and so that's a normal out for me on the beaches because our bulls just aren't the same as JB's. But to answer your question, I think that you do have to train your body and your mind to walk forward. Like Mike, what's his last name? I never thought I would forget it. But there's a Navy SEAL story in that book up there of Marcus Luttrell's service, and he's on a rooftop with two other SEALs. I thought it was Marines, but I think Marcus. I was talking to Marcus about it, and it's SEALs, and somebody throws a grenade up there, and he just immediately jumps on it, and it blows up, and he dies. And I think that he's got the training to do that, but then also he's got the heart for it. And so I think in an extreme situation like that, I think that, I mean, that's pretty elite. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that somebody like Webb and Tuck, they have both. They have the training there's a wreck, there's a mean bull, and there's a helpless bull rider. And the moment they see that wreck about to start, their feet move forward. Their body leans forward. I think it's trained, and I think they're also have the heart for it, is what I think. So I think both.
Yeah.
And I think that you can get away with maybe being trained and having like it depending on the situation. Like I think that like, I don't know. Does that make sense? I think that there's, because you see some guys like fighting bulls and they just eventually get to where they don't want to go in there. Mm-hmm. And I will say it's way easier. It feels easier to go in there when you know and love that human. Mm. So maybe there's something to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I agree. I think probably the more bull sense you have too, do you think that makes it easier to get in there to save somebody?
Yeah. I think that's part of the training part.
Right, yeah. I mean, with that training, then it also, so you're confident in your abilities to be able to save something versus you're just running in blind.
I guess like there is like it's different the older you get and the more you rodeo. It's a little different. Like I think that you make a conscious decision, like, because you know when you go in, it could result in surgery, injury, whatever. When you first get started, there's a naivety attached to it where you just kind of like, it's just like you're just a wild man going and going. And then like once the rodeo is less of just like an adrenaline rush and more of like a career, I think like you have to have the training, and you have to remind yourself of the heart side of it. I think, like, hey, you know, you're not just a kid like looking for an adrenaline rush. They're dependent on you to go in, whether you like that person or not. Like, you're here to save them. Like, I think that's an obligation you have. If you put on cleats and you step in the arena and you're one of the two, like, you're now obligated, like that, because that's the job.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, I don't think you should. But so I think you have to have the heart for it. You have to have the training for it, and then you got to remind yourself every now and then. Because like, if you go to like counting the dollars, like a collarbone surgery is $19,000 out of pocket, and so like, if you go to doing that too much, then you just need to have a conversation in your head to remind yourself of why you're doing it. I don't know. That's a long-winded answer.
Still very good though. When's the time somebody's had your guys' back?
I don't know, just being out here trying to learn bull riding or bareback riding, being able to coach and fight the bulls at the same time, or be able to talk to me while y'all are picking up. And you're like, it's your second time, and you wake up on a bareback horse. You're like, what do I do now? Like, double grab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that throughout the whole time of it.
When I got backdoored at the stockyards, y'all were there long before the EMT guy was there.
He's still on his way.
If I'd have been waiting on him, I would have just laid out in that arena with the horse running around for.
You know, it's one thing for that EMT guy with the huge belly to either not be able to or not choose to get out there quickly. That's one thing. If you're going to take that long to get out there, okay. But once he got there, the arrogance he had of like trying to like tough talk us, like, no. You're not going to walk your lazy butt out here this slow and then be arrogant. You can at least talk to us, like, thank us for doing part of your job.
Don't ask
Just
me.
the way he's talking to it, like trying to like boss us around. Like, look, dude, I just watched this happen. He's knocked out. You know, I'm not an EMT, but I've been around rodeo. Like, his neck's fine, everything's fine. But like, don't bark at me after you're going to take 4 minutes to get from your gate to our man in the middle of the arena. Like, show a little bit of haste. If it's that important to you that you're going to bark at us for helping him, then get out here quicker. Yeah. That's the hypocrisy I didn't like about that guy. Like, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, if you're going to be in a service spot, like, that's the same thing as the bullfighter. Dude, if you're going to sign up for that job, at least get to where you can walk.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
You know
Dakota
what I mean?
Myers thing. He's like, these firemen, he's like, whenever you take that oath, you forfeit the right to be fat. Like, no shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
when I worked at Ford and we serviced all the ambulances, I don't think I saw one healthy EMT worker the entire time.
Hey, really?
I'm sure they're out there.
We know one.
Well, the healthy EMT guy, he's a 2-stripe purple belt, and
Boss.
doesn't have an ounce of fat on his whole body, 0% body fat.
But I would go get the
Zach
keys
Shaver,
to
shout out to our
ambulances.
BJJ coach.
And it's like these guys would almost hurt themselves stepping out of the ambulance, like waddle. Yeah, I mean, bad.
But
every
hey,
time, and I would be like, "This is insane."
That's why this particular Zach would agree with you. So yeah, they are out there, but Zach would agree with you. And the other thing is cops. And another BJJ coach of ours, who is a police officer. The reason he is now a black belt is because they got a call for an abandoned house that's like this. Kids would always break into it. And so like him and his partner show up and they get flashlights. They're at this abandoned house. Somebody called that somebody had broke into it. And turns out it was a guy either doing drugs or high. He was high, whatever. And started like hit him and ran. And for some reason, whatever, they're now pursuing this guy. And he catches up to him, and he just assumed he was in good shape, and so he just assumed he could probably fight. Well, anyways, he ends up having to like fight this guy who's high on meth, and
Tough match.
he beats him, but like is gassed, and this guy's just still going. He's high as a kite. Well, finally he gets his taser and starts tasing him. And this guy's like taking it.
It's just giving him energy.
It's just like he's just taking it. And our man can barely breathe. And he all the while he's like, where's my backup? And it was this older, out of shape guy who had like when they're chasing him, he fell off the porch and crapped his pants and then just went back to the car because he had crap in his pants.
He could have died out there.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. He then went on to learn jujitsu and is now a black belt. And so anyways, whatever. But the point is like there's also cops. Like, bro, you can't even just like step off a porch without crapping your pants.
Right.
Like why would you put yourself in a position where you might have to fight somebody who's high on drugs and you can't even do like a basic submission, like or you're just not in shape enough, you know?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Real thing. Yeah.
How many belts does meth add?
How many color
Have you
belts?
seen all the videos of them getting tased and the meth heads are just like, yeah, whatever.
Dude, that's wild what that stuff can do to your body.
Dude.
That's wild. Not that
Yeah.
I know. I'm just
It's like
saying.
an
I would assume you
equalizer.
can take a taser. That's wild.
Meth is the equalizer to a taser. Like everybody else locks up and falls and they're like, I'm gonna get shot.
I wonder how many times like somebody super high on meth could get shot, not in the head or heart, get shot by a bullet and still keep moving forward.
I think you'd have to find the head or heart.
Yeah.
I think if they're really going,
yeah.
Yeah,
they'd
man.
have to lose the blood.
Because if like I don't know the circumstance that 50 Cent was shot in. I don't think he was on meth, like based on what I know about his story. But if he can get shot 9 times and still survive, like how many times do you think somebody high on meth could get shot and still survive? That's crazy. I mean, like maybe
Yeah.
double. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that one guy? He get shot like 20 times. This was in the military. He was not high on anything. Anyway, he has since passed away, but like it wasn't from the 20
Yeah.
gunshot. It was like a crazy number.
I think I remember. Wasn't he like in a doorway?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a doorway and he was still awake. He could
They
hear
just took him for dead.
He could hear the bullets thudding in his back.
Came back later.
Yeah, yeah.
It was some insane number of
It was.
times
I thought
he had been shot. Maybe 20.
I don't want to speculate. I want
or
to say
16,
I wanna
16,
say-
18, or 20.
No, I want to say it was more than that. I want
Really?
to say the guy
Was
I'm
it?
thinking of, it was like 40 times or something, like just all over. And if it's a story I'm thinking of, and I apologize to whoever we're giving your story a terrible disservice, but
well,
yeah, he was like,
he's since passed. So
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm not sure, but
Anyway,
under that argument though, then is jiu-jitsu really a viable solution to somebody on meth, or should you just?
It's better than nothing.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Even somebody on meth can't survive without oxygen.
That's true. Well, who knows?
we're gonna have to run some studies.
I mean, that's the scenario where you hold out for a choke rather than an arm bar, because a person on meth can
Then
definitely
he's just coming at you.
definitely move forward with a broken arm.
Yeah. Maybe not 2 of them though.
Till you get
broken
bite
arms.
you.
2 broken arms.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely hold out for the choke. Yeah.
You'd triangle him. You'd pull guard and then triangle the meth head.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's only negative. If only meth was used for good, right?
A triangle on a meth head would be difficult too, because like if anybody could stand up in any scenario, it would be somebody.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
then you're up in the air and hopefully you don't get knocked out when they slam you. I mean, all you need is about 7 seconds, if that.
Yeah.
But they are going to be biting.
That's what I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So long as it's not the one spot, I feel like if your adrenaline's running, you might could take a bite.
Not that one spot, though.
Not
I
that
know
one
what you're
spot.
thinking. Scrawny, strung out meth head. They come big too.
They come big too. That's right. Yeah. They come big too. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I just had to bring this up, but I talk about calf ropers a whole lot, and Shad Mayfield commented on the last reel, and he's like, "We need to get Cole Snyder in there watch a calf run him over." Probably, Shad. Yeah, probably. I'm a little guy. I tell jokes on the internet.
That's
Probably.
your shout out. That's your
Yeah, that's my shout out to him. Probably. All right. I guess I had one. Yeah, on the last bareback horse I got on, I was hung up and getting spun around, and for whatever reason, the pickup man couldn't get in there. But I had 2 buddies. I know Miles Johnson was definitely in there. I think Ty Elison also helped. I was kind of out of it at the time, but I'm pretty sure they ran in there while I was hung up on that horse and got on that horse's head. And that was like, I don't know, that's a cool thing. You never want to have to do that, but when, I've seen Dougie Hall is a guy. He does that. It doesn't matter who it is. Like he does love everybody he sees. So if he sees a wreck and he can get it, he's gonna go in there. But those two,
Nice.
Peace of love.
Peace and love. Definitely have my back. Also,
Shout out to my boy.
thanks for driving me to the hospital afterwards. Well, I've got one more. Are you ready? What do you?
I've just got to pee so bad that
We can wrap it up. I mean, we're over an hour. That's a perfect podcast.
yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect podcast.
Perfect
Yet
podcast.
again.
We just can't miss.
Thank you guys for joining us. Life advice. Go around the horn.
Man. Chuck Norris, R.I.P. The last video he posted, he was just like, "There's always a light in the darkness." I think it's always important. Don't get bogged down in hard times. Like there's always, no matter what. It's pretty lame advice, but Chuck Norris did it better. Yeah, listen to Chuck.
Exercise often, as Chuck Norris also did. Where you could either fight or flight, a large method.
Yep,
It
that's
could happen
important.
at any moment.
Jesus healed a man because of his friend's faith. Who you hang around matters.
Man, I wrote this the other day. I was thinking, just kind of like putting together some thoughts. Don't pull on Superman's cape. Don't piss into the wind. You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger.
Yep.
And you don't mess around with Jim. And those are just some lines that I
kind of like
threw
that.
together. And I was just kind of thinking on all those, and those are all just good advice quotes that I kind of came up with
Just now.
I like that.
just now. Yeah.
I like that.
So take it. I don't know what it means, but it just came out of my head. So I do know you guys all need to go to rodeotime.com. That's the greatest apparel line known to man. So check out that, and just that's what runs the videos. That's what pays these guys. They're very small salaries, and we love you so much for it. Text special offer to 940-353-0890, and you'll get a deal you can feel from me. Yes, it is me texting you. Special offer to 940-353-0890. We love you guys. On to the next one. Pow, pow.